I will now read aloud for you a poem I wrote in memoriam of my toenail. To my toenail. We used to be one, toenail and toe. We used to be together. Feet, fingers, and shield that lay on top to protect them. But now forever we shall be apart. My heart will weep, for the toenail that used to belong to my toe is now gone. No more will we frolic together, toe and toenail, through parks and down streams, in grassy meadows and on sandy beaches. No more, for my toenail is gone. My toe will go on without my toenail, but forever, in its tiny little toe heart, it will know a piece of it is gone. Never to return, never to grow. My toe will reminisce on the youth of its days and the better times. When I was 4 and stubbed my toe on the dynamic corner. It will remember my first pair of socks and my first boo-boo. It will think back to bee stings, terrible, and how the nail of my toe was there to comfort it in its tumultuous times of pain. It will brace for the empty shell, the hard hat of the toe, the Mother Earth, the protector shield of the toe. From the dirt and the grime of the world will now forever be exposed. My toe will reminisce over the sandals, the sneakers, the boots, the warm socks, the glasses of milk, the stinky work shoes, the even stinkier gym shoes, and the not so stinky Air Max 97s, Nightmare on Elm Street edition. Not stinky at all. For forever will my toe be alone from this day forward, ensuring the warmth and comfort from the previously listed footwear. My toe was like a rainforest, lush, deep, and full of life. Dangerous, wet, mountainous. But now my toe is barren. The lifeblood has been harvested and the nail cut down by big business like the trees in the rainforest and sold on the black market and traded for adrenochromes for the ruling class and elite. An empty landscape lay in the wake of their machines and torturous devices, and what was once a beautiful landscape where life was plentiful and water and luxury was abundant is now an apocalyptic hellscape, an empty home that I call my toe. My toe and toenail, my feet, finger, and the shield that protects them. My feet meet and the shell exoskeleton. My walking willies and their shelly wellies. My toe and my toenail. 12 pesos, baby. Welcome back to Rainbows and Sunshine. It's a very tough time, really, in my life. That's the poem that I would have written if they took my toenail off of my foot. But that's not exactly what happened. But I had the poem prepared. My life had been adjusted for the preparation of losing the toenail from the toe. And thus I wrote the poem. I prepared for the worst. I always prepare for the worst, You prepare for the worst, and you get somewhere in between. You ride that out. That's nice. But yeah, this is Rainbows and Sunshine. A little 12 pesos, baby. Ooh, who's got 12 pesos? Let me get that 13th peso. I need a slice of pizza. Hey, I need a slice of pizza. It's 13 pesos. Hey, Johnny. That's enough of that. As wonderful as a song that is. Yeah, no, that was a poem that I would have written. Lots of noises. Here we are, middle of the day, cooped up in the back of the shed. Jay chillin'. Put off the podcast. But I found my way back here. I walked through the grass, barefooted. And to let you gauge, if you didn't see that on camera, if you're just listening, I just showed my feet barefooted, okay? That's what I'm telling you. So if you're going to question it, don't question it because it's fact. I just showed you, okay? Don't look at me because I'm looking at you. You can look back at me while I'm looking at you, but that's it. That's all I'll settle for. Okay, we're going to admit right now, because I always love to admit this, whenever I am really high, I find it's just best to admit it. So here I am admitting it. Okay, folks? So if you think, man, why is Alec acting weird today? Why does he seem a bit off? There you go. I just let you in on a little secret, okay? So we might not have known each other or been too comfortable, but here we are sharing secrets, okay? Now, because I told you a secret, I'd employ you to drop your deepest, darkest secret in the comments below, okay? So that people could talk shit to you about your deepest, darkest secrets. Because I just opened up to you just a slight little bit, I want you to give me everything. I want you to give me that whole slice of that pie, put it in the comments section below, and have people tear you apart because what? You banged your cousin, or you've been stealing bread from the local 7-Eleven. Thieves. Thief's a lot of you. But yeah, me, I'm a little high. So if you think, man, he's getting extra sidetracked today. I mean, what? But yeah, here's the thing. Okay, so we're going to talk about this because we discussed it a little bit. They took the toenail off. Well, I talked about this previous time, so I'm not going to go back on old fodder. Okay, listen to the previous episodes of Rainbow and Sunshine to get the beginning of the story, or don't. I can't tell you really what to do, and, if I tell you what to do, you probably won't listen, because here's the thing. You tell somebody what to do, they ain't going to do it. They're going to do the opposite because nobody likes being told what to do. I'd love to actually meet a person who's like, oh, yeah, I love being told what to do. I actually do like being told what to do in scenarios where I'm like, employed. I love when they don't leave it up to me. I love when they're like, yeah, do this. So I can do that and I don't have to guess or anything because I'm an all right guesser at best. I'm not a good guesser, If I seen a jar of jelly beans, lying out on the counter, I'd probably eat a few, but then I'd probably put off an ill-mannered guess, but then I ate a few, so everybody else's guess is probably going to be off by a few too, but, probably don't leave a jar of jelly beans out on the counter, but, nobody is, so this really isn't a problem that we run into, really ever, Am I bad at counting, though? That's a problem that I think I run into quite a lot. Big gulp. Big gulp. Nah, but anyway, so the foot. The foot. Hey, do you have feet? Hey, I have feet. What if this was just like my like, hey, what's up, mom? I just got on the phone. I just used this for that, and I just recorded that. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm telling stories from the road here. Maybe it could be conversations about my mother. It wouldn't be conversations about your mother. Well, but it's July 12th. It's Tuesday, July 12th. It's 8 o'clock. It's another day, man. What am I really supposed to say? It's just another day. It's another day. I know it's another day. It's painful because it's like it's always the same thing. It could be different, and I like to change it up a lot. Go different places, do different things, and do nothing. That's my favorite thing to do, I think, is do nothing. But then it's like, what are we doing? Just walking around, just zombies all day long. And here I am, talking about nothing, just saying a bunch of words, throwing them out there. And you can think of what you want of it, but probably nobody can make anything of it, really. What do you want? I gave you a poem, okay? I wrote a poem to you. That's what you get today. The rest of this is just extra. And it really is, because I'm just going to make it up. I don't know where the rest of this time is going to go. We're going to see together. And that might not sound enticing. But think about it like this. Think about maybe we're like in the woods, and there's a couple different paths, like Dora Explorer style, We have the map, but it's like a broad map. There's lots going on. But we see that the road is splitting. Who's to say you can't be like, oh, we're going this way, Alec, Really, I have the final say here. I get to see where the road goes and really pick it out, If I want the road to even go on to some sea, get in a boat, you have no say in the matter. Although, I'd like maybe if you could think that you did, I'd like maybe you to picture yourself as my noble companion here, and we're riding steeds through the woods, it's a lovely day, I know it's July 12th, but picture it fall, because I imagine fall probably the perfect time to ride steeds through the wooded forest, so we're in a wooded forest, and we're traveling somewhere, who knows, like I said, you're my noble companion, so who's to say you can't tell me where we're going, and we might encounter some scoundrels, but we're kind of suited well for the road, we got a water in case we get thirsty, we have some rogues in case anything gets too dicey, emergency rogues, always good to have on standby. But then if you have the rogues, you need the emergency water. So it's really a twofold plan here, and neither of them really, well, the water is important, let's not lie to ourselves. But the question is, did they not drink water back in the day? Did nobody drink water? Because, never in any of these night films do you see anybody like, oh, let me get my bottle of water real quick. Captain Jack Sparrow never is like, oh, let me get to water. Oh, scurvy me, I'm a pirate. Oh, I'm going to stab you for the gold. First, I need some water. I get they drink from the cusp of eternity, and that's, water, but that's like not water. That's totally cheating. But yeah, we're riding horses. It's peaceful. It's just a peaceful fall day. It's very wooded. It's a very wooded area. It's a dirt path. It's a thick brush, but not too thick. You could see through it, and there's a bit of deer and maybe a squirrel on the path, but nothing real crazy. And we haven't come upon too many different... Oh, there's a person on the side of the road. Let's see what he has to say. That'd be perfect. To just be like, boom. Ooh. But some people were on the side of the road the other day, and his name was Robert. And if you've seen The Ice Room, which I implore you to watch with me and Molly, she couldn't be here today, so it's just Alec for. Yo, I'm high as hell. I am high as hell, but what you see is what you get. Raw, baby. There's some more Crystalia for you. Anyway, Robert, who you may or may not know because he's appeared on The Ice Room and has said some things, but you probably should know, Robert, made me a wonderful sign. Let's see if we can't prop this with the computer here so that maybe you could see it. Now, what does it say? Now, maybe I'll give you the second here to read it. You take a look at it, but I have to read it because I don't know specifically what it says. Now, out of all the quotes, out of everything that I've said, this is the one that Robert thought, let's print out, which is very concerning. Because if you didn't read this, I'll read it for you. It says, because I have a great reading voice, did you not hear me read that poem? That was wonderful. The lady sitting next to me was one of my teachers, and she saw me getting jerked off in the back of the classroom. Alec N. That's what he wrote. He wrote, the lady sitting next to me was one of my teachers, and she saw me getting jerked off in the back of the classroom, which is true. Which is kind of true. I didn't really want to talk about this much more, but he thought it was funny. I'm going to have to put it up on the wall somewhere higher, but today this is where it's. What if I go like this? And then we move the computer out the way. Then you can maybe see it a little bit, huh? How's that for you? Is that all right? But then we're going to block my beautiful face over here. Now it's me. It's a Mario. Yeah, who knows? The lady sitting next to me was one of my teachers, and she saw me get it jacked off in the back of the classroom. There's things I have to say about this, but there's things I really don't want to say about this, and that's all of them. I don't want to say anything about this because this is a god-awful, filthy story. Terrible. What am I supposed to say? Somebody comes back, sees this sign. What am I supposed to say to people? People see this sign. What, you teach it? Nobody should see anybody getting jerked off ever, unless you're on the internet browsing for such material. If you so desire it, yes, but nobody should be thrust upon having to see some jacks go off, Now, what I will say about this scenario, in all fairness, was I did hide a pen in my pocket. I said, oh, there's a pen in my pocket, I lost it. Could you get it for me? Some stupid ass shit like that. Like, sorry, I to the girl next to me. I lost my pen in my pocket. Do you think you can get it for me? Now, she was my girlfriend, okay? First things first. This was my girlfriend, and we dated for a bit, a year and 5 months, something like that. Is that the honest truth? I think, to my knowledge. I could be off on that, but if you want to say I'm a liar, that's what I said on that. I said it might be true, okay? So feel free to dispute whatever, but I don't think, now I'm paying mind to it like it needs attention. Anyway. Yeah, I used to hide pens in my pocket and tell her to look for them. So what this lady really saw, I mean, if anything, there was no, it's hard to remember. And yeah, now this is very vulgar for the youth, but there might have been some in the pocket touching, there might have been some out of the pocket, out of the pants touching. It's hard to say, really. It's hard to say, really. Now, this might have been an exaggeration of a quote. People, it's really hearsay. Somebody said, oh, we know what was going on back there. And I said, oh, yeah, but what? What was going on? Oh, we know. What did you know, huh? What was really going on back there? Eye to eye, guy to guy. look at me dead in the face. Tell me honestly. You know, I'm an honest man. I make an honest living. You can come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding and tell me whatever it is you want to say. Except, of course, if it's this. This I don't really want to care to hear about. You know, it was a brief bring up. It was a quick, brought it up. Quick, brought it up, wanted it out. But you said, oh, we got to talk about it a little more. You made a sign of it. So now it's fucking here. So maybe I'll fledge more details about it. You know, it's really just because, like, you know, that's just wrong. That's just dirty. It's just dirty. Nobody needs to hear about anybody spraying or jerking or any of that. You know, it's just not, you know, good table manners, you know, and maybe you're watching this when you're eating. So, you know, it's just wrong. It's just wrong of me to go on. Excuse me. Sorry. Wow. Says that, then burps on mic. Yeah, but I haven't been to work since last Wednesday. See, because on Thursday, Doc says, hey, we're going to cut your toenail out. Yeah, we're going to cut your toenail out, and you'll be fine on Friday. So I said, okay. Cut the toenail out, be fine Friday. Thursday, we'll do it. Sounds good. Now, what I didn't know was I couldn't work all weekend. You know, I was booked both shifts Friday, didn't make it to either job. Full day Saturday, didn't make it. Sunday, didn't make it. Monday, didn't make it. Tuesday, didn't make it. Multiple jobs, multiple shifts. Oh, the disgrace I am. You know, the disgrace I am. Didn't go into this job, wouldn't go into that job. What am I, a lazy sack of shit, huh? Just gonna sit around all day, eat bonbons, you know? I guess so. I mean, bonbons are good, though. You know, and it's been good, but I'm supposed to go to work tomorrow, and I'm really not excited for that. You know, I don't think that I should have to work, honestly. How many times have I said that on this podcast? Is a good question. I mean, how many different, well, I mean, I would work, you know, and I've talked about this, you know, listen, we're working on it. You know, that's what this podcast is about. I talk about it with you. Maybe you share some ideas with me. We're talking about it. We're throwing it out there. We're saying it so that maybe seeing what it sounds like, you know, and that didn't sound so good. Okay, fine. You know, sue me, you know, whatever. I get it. I'll work. You know, I'm trying to find that sweet spot, you know. I do electrical. Electrical's fine. Electrical's whatever. You know, it's fine. I don't know why it doesn't do it for me. Like, it's not something that I like. Like, I wonder sometimes if I should, like, find a different electrical job, you know. Is it my specific electrical job? But then it's like I do a lot of different things on my electrical job, and I do a lot of work, and they're great. So it's like there's no reason to go somewhere else. I just don't know if I enjoy that. And some of that is a PC answer for somebody that might hear. But, like, also, like, I don't know, man. It's all right. You know, I understand that there's part of me that, like, has a hard time because the fact of I've been a waiter. So when you're a waiter, you're kind of the most important person. You know, obviously you have your managers, but, like, you kind of just, like, do whatever you do, you know, and you tell people what to do, like the bussers and the runners, and you're like, hey, manager, can you help me, you know, and stuff like that, you know. You're kind of the man, you know, is what I'm saying. Not that I'm not the man, but, like, as a server, if you will, you know, you're kind of the center of attention. Like, you're kind of an important person. I hate to say it because you're an important person at a restaurant, which what does that really mean? Nothing. But hey, it's fun. You know, but you realize, like, oh, nobody ever really, like, tells me what to do is, I guess, what I'm getting at. So maybe at the electrical job, you know, I always hate all the people telling me what to do, but, like, I don't, because it's like, it's fine. Like, I'll do stuff. I'd rather do stuff than sit here and watch. And, like, yeah, I have to learn. Obviously, I have to learn. Obviously, I have to watch. Like, I get that. So maybe that's it too. Maybe it's like, oh, well, I know how to serve, And I think about that all the time because it's like serving. Some of the questions that come out of my mouth, some of the things that I do are such like physical reflexes or are such like I know what I'm doing. Like it's just like almost like a flow state, if you will. A flow state where you're asleep. Like I'm asleep at the wheel, but I still know what to do. I still know to ask you how you want your burger cooked and shit like that's simple, but it's like it's still stuff that I still like remember. You still think about all of it. It's very you're trying to manage all of it. So it can be a lot, when it's a lot of things, you have to manage it good. But then there's like things that you just remember, you never fell off the bike, but I've never gotten on the electrical bike. I'm kind of like looking at the bike over here, like, okay, so it looks like that. That's how you ride it. But I've never really ridden it, if you will. And now we're getting honest thoughts. And now we're getting honest thoughts because I ran out of jokes. So now we're getting honest thoughts. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that, That's kind of how I feel about that. And I think every day, man, I want a different job, Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I go back to school? Should I join the reserves? Should I actually enlist? I feel like that'd be so cool to be out there, but I'm also a bitch, I would have no problem training, but I also like love the comfort of my existence, and I hate breaking out of it. So like that is something that would be so hard. But like also I have no desire to be in any type of combat or any dangerous or precarious situations at all. I'd love to train and travel and be part of a group like that, but no interest in any combat or, it'd be cool to shoot a gun, but not at somebody. It would never be cool. Could you imagine? And I've played a lot of Call of Duty, but like, could you imagine firing a rifle at somebody? Never. It's wild. I can't imagine, but like it would be like such a cool experience and obviously beneficial for so many reasons. But then you think of those things. Should I do that? Should I be in the Coast Guard? Should I be in, a fireman? Like there's so many things. I could go back to school and do anything. I'm still just a server. I'm still, I'm an electrician, but like I don't really want a part of it, And I've held down the job for a while, kind of, I'd say, like I've worked such an inconsistent schedule and you could never say anything different than that. That would be the honest truth is I've worked such an inconsistent schedule, but like, I've continued the job. I haven't quit and gone somewhere else despite what I think sometimes, despite what I tell myself sometimes, I've still continued to be there even though I don't want to, and I don't want to, which is the honest truth. But I don't really understand why I don't want to, and I just went through some of it with you. It's a lot of travel, I think, when you think about all the benefits of working as a server at the restaurant that I do, it just keeps going. They just stack up and they stack up and they stack up. But the thing is, like, you'll never get consistent pay because you get tipped. It's not a feasible career. You need to make more money. Now, would I be fine being the town server? If there were like, okay, somebody's got to be this, and you're going to be the server, like if it was like a communist society, if you will, or however the hell that's supposed to be. Like if we lived on a farm, and Joey picked the grass and Bert, but if we lived on a farm, we wouldn't have restaurants where people served. But, at the local tavern, I could be your server, like if we had like back in olden times, eventually there'd be a bunch of houses and it wouldn't just be one big farm. And I guess that's how we are today, where we get to today. It's wild. It's wild. Because I would be the server if the server got paid, but the server doesn't really get paid to be the server. And it's just, there's no commute or anything really for me because it's fairly close to my residence. So, it just works out every time. And this other job as an electrician, you got to drive to the work, which I hate, which is the job. There's no avoiding it. And I think, man, maybe I'd love to show up at a building every day. A workshop, if you will. Show up at a workshop and just work on things, fix things all day. That would be kind of cool. I mean, I don't know, over going out to where the work is, but that makes sense though. It's not but there has to be technicians, places working on things, fixing things all day, but that's a different job then. And what I'm doing every day by doing what I'm doing is earning hours towards progressing as a, electrician, so yeah. But I wrote that poem because I thought that they were going to take my toenail out, but they tricked me. And I was so confused. I left the bandage on for days. I left the bandage on because it was bleeding profusely. I left the bandage on. And then I took it off, and to my amazement and surprisal, the toenail was still there. Now, he had told me, we're going to cut the toe out, the toenail out, we're going to cut the toenail out, we're going to cut the toenail out. That's what he explained to me. That's what I thought was going to happen. Now, when I was there, I didn't watch. When he did it, I was in writhing pain. They shot me twice. They shot me. They give you 2 shots. And that's cool, those are fine. I didn't watch because I don't like to watch. Some doctor told me, hey, don't watch. And from that day forward, I realized, hey, don't watch, So didn't watch. 2 shots, whatever, fine. He goes, that's the worst part. Oh, that's the worst part. Oh, great. So it's done. Now, I think he did it. Now, at that point, I'm still looking at my hat. Nobody's saying anything. But I'm oh, I don't feel my foot. So they're probably doing it right now. So I'm just trying to lay absolutely still and let them do it. And I'm feeling weird things. And I'm oh, that's probably it. I look up, nobody's there. I look up, they left the room. And I'm what? Okay. I thought we already did it. I thought you did the shots and you ripped the toenail out and you already had done it. And I'm just under my hat, just breathing, thinking that they're doing it, but they did nothing. And I'm just over anxious for no reason. But, so then he comes back in and he's you're ready. And I'm oh, I'm ready? I thought we already did it, but I knew we didn't. But so whatever. I'm yeah. We start doing it. Hurts really bad. And I'm not looking, so I don't know what's going on. But he's oh, do you feel it? It's not supposed to hurt. And I'm oh, yeah, well, it hurts, but just keep going. It's fine. Just finish. And he's oh, no, it's really not supposed to hurt. He's oh, do you feel that? I'm yeah, I feel that. He's oh, well, you're not supposed to. So he goes, he gets another needle. He shoots me again. This one I feel a little bit because, I'm shaking at this point. They're probably shaking at this point. It's a very hostile room. I'm sure there's lots of blood escaping from my foot. It's a very messy scenario that I'm not really watching, but I know that I'm shaking and they're shaking, and that's what I'm getting at. And I felt that pinch a little bit more, but still, it's just a shot, whatever. It's supposed to numb the pain. I'm cool with it. But just finish. Just cut it out. Just be done. Just finish. Because it's once you start, the adrenaline kind of kicks in, and your body does whatever to, take the pain. But every second after that, your body has less and less of that ability, I feel like. You dump it all in the beginning and you're good for however quick it is, but then you start to feel it and you start to feel whatever had already happened. You have a really quick window where you could just do stuff in it. So I'm like, just finish. Just like do it as quick as it possibly can be, because the longer you leave pieces like this around and go into the other room and get needles, the more I'm going to be in pain today. Guy. Hey, guy. But yeah, they did it and it just hurt and it just hurt and it just hurt and it was bleeding. And I didn't walk for like 3 days and I didn't work for like 4 days and 5 days or whatever, 6 days of not working and 4 days of not walking. And one of the days, like, it's just been bad, it's just been bad. And it's not fun. But then to my amazement, the toenail was still there. And I'm like, so what did we do? Did I hallucinate the whole doctor's visit? Did I, am I hallucinating? Did I take a magic mushroom cap? Because I don't remember doing that. But if I did, I'd love for you to remind me, because I'm not sure what just happened. Now I have a toenail, but I've been in pain. I have pictures where my foot's bloody. I left the bandage on, though, because I was like, well, I'm not going to rip it off with the blood. It's protecting it, whatever. Like, I didn't want to, I've been soaking it to get the bandage off, and then it came off. And there was a toenail there, and I was so confused because it was bleeding all of the days. So then I checked the side-by-sides because, of course, knowing me, I took pictures the day before, right before I got it done. So he says he cut my toenail out. I think he means he cut my toenail out as in he cut the skin around it out. And I mean, I'm so confused, and it's like, I feel swindled, I thought, listen, let's just kiss the toenail goodbye. Forget it. What now? We're going to have more problems. Now it's still there. But we cut some of the skin out, so the skin's going to grow back, and then it's going to have to get cut out. We're going to have to do the whole thing over again. Cut the nail out. Be done with it. But no, the foot saga continues. The foot saga continues. I don't understand, It was such a, like, I felt like my whole life was a lie at that point, Was I there? Did I forget the whole doctor's visit? What has been happening? I've been in pain. It's been bloody. So confused, and that's not different from, I guess, anything else. Always pretty confused or whatever. Make a dumb joke, guy. You're always confused, Alec. Okay, make the joke. But this, I was like, what if I told everybody the toenail was gone? I thought the toenail was gone, and now it's not, but I mean, it is still bloody, it is still a mess, it's an open wound, the toe is red, it's sore, I gotta wrap it, I can't fit it in a shoe. I mean, what did I do to deserve this? It's a good question. Answer it yourself. But hey, this has been Rainbows and Sunshine. Another wonderful day. Another wonderful episode of Rainbows and Sunshine. And folks, I guess that's going to be it. Like I said, hey, write something in the comment section, your deepest, darkest secret. That's a great idea. Or some bullshit. Just write some bullshit. Say, hey, John, how's it going? Put the thumbs up there, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, do the things that you employed to do, Hey, whoa. But that's it. I ain't going to be wugging here no more.